Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to crack the code on a super simple but really powerful formula for making perfect comparisons in English. I promise, by the end of this, you'll be using as like a total pro. So let's just dive right in. Okay, so let me ask you something. How do you actually say that two things are perfectly equal? When you want to express that perfect balance between them. What words come to mind? Well, believe it or not, the answer is so simple. It's this magic little formula. As. That's it. It's this incredibly straightforward and honestly super effective way to make those perfect comparisons of equality, and it works every single time. Okay, let's get a little more specific here. For the grammar nerds out there, this is called the equality comparative, and the structure's always the same. You have as, then you stick an adjective in the middle. Think of words like tall or expensive or beautiful, and then you have as again. It's like you're drawing a straight line between two things and just saying, hey, these are the same. All right, so theory is great and all, but we all know that practice is what really makes things stick, right? So let's jump into our first section. We're going to see exactly how to build full sentences with this formula, and we'll start with the positive statements. Think of the positive formula like a super simple recipe, just 5 easy steps. First, you've got your subject and the verb, right? Then you add as. Step 3, you drop in your adjective. Step 4, you add as again. And finally, you finish with whatever you're comparing it to. And that's it. Simple as that. And you know what's so cool about this? The formula works for any adjective. It seriously doesn't matter if it's a short little word like tall or a big one like responsible. The structure stays exactly the same. I am as tall as my brother. See? So clean, so simple. Okay, but what happens when things aren't equal? Well, this is the best part. It's incredibly simple. All you have to do to make the whole sentence negative is add one little word, not. So you go from he is as strong to he is not as strong. Easy, right? Let's really lock this idea in with a couple more examples. How about my car is not as expensive as yours, or he is not as intelligent as she is. The formula is exactly the same, you just pop that not right after the verb. You're basically just showing that things are unequal. Awesome. So now you can make statements saying things are equal and unequal. But what about asking questions? How does the formula work for that? Well, let's find out. Time to get curious. So you'll see there are basically 2 main ways to ask a question with this. The first way, you just flip the subject and the verb. So instead of saying he is, you ask, is he? Simple. The other way is to start with a question word, like who or what, when you want to get a little more information. Here are a few more examples just to help get these patterns stuck in your head. If you ask, is your bag as expensive as mine? Well, that's just a simple yes or no question. But if you ask, who is as tall as you? Now you need a specific answer. But see, both of them use that same core as structure. Okay, so you've got all the pieces now. You can make statements and you can ask questions. Now it's time for the really fun part. Let's put it all together in some quick-fire conversations. The way this will work is, I'll ask a question, and then we'll see the totally natural, short answer you'd give in real life. You ready? Okay, first up, imagine someone walks up to you and asks this. Are you as tall as your dad? So if the answer is yes, you don't have to say, yes, I am as tall as my dad. That sounds kind of robotic, right? A short, simple, yes, I am is the perfect, most natural way to respond. All right, let's keep this moving. Next question, is he as strong as his coach? And what if he isn't? Simple again. No, he isn't. Boom. Clean, clear, and super efficient. Okay, last one for our little quick fire round. Is this chair as comfortable as the new one? And the answer? Yes, it is. See how that works? It's just a question and a short answer, back and forth. You literally just had a natural-sounding conversation. And just like that, you've seen the whole thing in action, from building statements to asking questions and even giving those short, natural answers. This whole formula, it's officially in your toolkit now. So let's do a super quick recap of your new as toolkit. You've got your positive statements. You've got your negative statements using not, you know how to ask a question by flipping the verb, and you've got those simple, short answers. Honestly, that's everything you need to make perfect comparisons. So to wrap this all up, I want to leave you with a final little thought, something for you to practice with. Using the exact structure we just mastered, think about this for a second. What in your life is as comfortable as your favorite sofa? Something to chew on. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today.